Good evening, Facebook, YouTube, and Periscope, as well as our other streaming channels. And tonight we got a new show that we're gonna try to start. Um, Very interesting show, very raw, very straight to the point. I asked anybody in the audience if you know this young lady, Jamila, that you go on this ride with us because it's gonna be very interesting. She ain't gonna be too deep. She just gonna get straight to the point about certain subject matters, and um, you know, we'll see how this goes. What's going on, Jamila?
Hey, babe, what's going on with you? Sound
I
like
don't
to the
know.
other viewers.
Like the
Sound like to
song.
the other viewers. No, gotta always make sure you add the Muslims in there. Sound like to y'all too.
What's going on?
No, I just wanted to try to get in touch with you so we could just talk about some regular smuggler shit, some shit that goes on daily, and some things from my past to tell y'all a little bit about me. Those that don't know.
Yeah, let everybody know where you from, where you grew up at. Most of the people, it's funny. Most of the people don't even the ones that's from the town where we grew up in. Most people don't even know that you lived in Vauxhall. They wouldn't even understand or
Watch your
remember
mouth.
that. They wouldn't even remember that. A lot of them be like, "She ain't grew up there." Um, let everybody know where you grew up at. You know your upbringing, your family, and stuff like that.
Okay, so basically, I was well, no, I wasn't raised, but I was born in Summit. Grew up. We stayed out in Vauxhall till I was about 6. No, I was about 8 years old. We decided my mother was gonna move. She said she couldn't stand that one horse town. She had to get the fuck out of there. One horse. That's what she said. Um, yeah, it was me and my brothers. My whole family from Vauxhall on both sides of the family, so it's hard not to be have some connections with it. But soon after we moved to East Orange. We moved around a lot. My mom moved around a lot. We moved to East Orange, and I winded up on Dayton Street. And believe it or not, although Vauxhall got all the beautiful trees and it's beautiful and all the neighbors know each other, Dayton Street is my place. I never felt so safer in nowhere else besides in projects. Them projects was everything for me. They gave me a sense of value. Trust me. Um, but yeah, like, I grew up. We grew up everywhere, so I got a chance to see different environments and how to move around. My mom was everywhere. Like we lived in East Orange, we lived in Newark, we lived in Irvington. We traveled. We was traveling salesmen. My mother. Soon the rent got too bad. Regina was like, "Let go, let
So
go."
what? Let me ask you a question. You know everybody from the hood always got to ask this question: Is you from Dayton or you from Seth?
Watch your mouth. Ain't nobody from no fucking Seth. No, no. And what kills me is how they get along so well now. When we was kids, they was our arch enemy. They couldn't come to Food Town to go food shopping. We stopping them by the soon they get to the skating rink. We couldn't
Mm.
stand the motherfuckers down on Seth. But I'm from Dayton, 318. 318. And I never felt so much since. And I don't want nobody to be like I had to fight there too when I first got there. They thought I was soft, but just I learned something though. Just because you from a certain area don't make you or break you. Just because you from a certain area, like you from the projects, you going because none of them messed with me. I was a thoroughbred by heart. My father gave that to me.
Hmm.
Bad as hell, but a lot of that stuff like wound up ending me in places that I ain't want to be. Like my attitude and how I did a 360 because I wasn't always like this. And on some occasions I can't. Like somebody fuck with my sister, I'm gonna have to bust them in their mouth. I'm not even playing about that. Everybody know I'm playing my sister. Do not play with my sister. Um
So at even you talking about your upbringing, but even at your age now, you still about that action.
Absolutely. I don't I don't play no games when it come to I got 9 kids and everybody already know that my kids is taboo. But some people might try to play with my siblings. I murder your whole face. Trust me when I tell you. I'm not that her. That's not what I do. Don't bother my family.
like I told you guys when we started the show, y'all, Jamila is very honest and she's gonna be very sincere about what she say. So let's talk about you saying you had 9 kids because you had me cracking up behind the scenes when you was talking about this stimulus check.
Oh, absolutely. Let me tell you something. I couldn't wait for them motherfuckers to get grown because I buying sneakers and trying to take care of them the best way I could. Couldn't wait for them to get grown. I was like, damn, I couldn't wait. Now that they all grown and they done came up with this $14 a kid, I want all the motherfuckers to be back my babies. I, I'm gonna need that, but it gets deeper though. It's 2 kids I ain't called yet. I ain't called my son yet, but I'm thinking I'm gonna call him tomorrow. But the rest of the other 8, I done hit them up. Like, you got your stimmy? Run me my shit. Everybody owe me $200. They all owe me $200. It was for me and me getting that shit. I'm
So
gonna need my
so
money.
so all the grown kids owe you $200 from their stimmy.
Absolutely, yes. How they gonna get it if they wasn't here? Where's my thank you? Where's my good job, mom? Good looking out. Where's my shit? Everybody gotta give
Uh,
me 2. Everybody need my
so
money.
so growing up basically from town to town throughout Essex County, and then the final landing spot was Dayton Street. Like you said, that was an experience. Like you felt safe. It's funny, most people that aren't from project areas feel like, oh, this is the worst area in the world, but they don't really understand that it's a community within a community.
Ab-
You got the person that run the store. They got the store. The kids got the
Absolutely.
Miss such and such. She got bread. I mean, she got everything. She going to Caris.
We
For
had the
those that don't,
candy lady. We had the candy lady in buildings in building 3. We had the candy lady. The candy lady, you come to her door, she got ices in her deep freezer that she made from Kool-Aid and put it in a Dixie cup and give you that with a spoon for 50 cents. Fucking the ice cream from the truck. We got the real lemon ices, like you scrape for real. The real ones made out of Kool-Aid.
so tell us about your experience down there. Like outside of like the childhood, like now you getting older, and it's like, damn.
As I had to grow up pretty fast because as well some of the people that's watching might not know. I had my child when I was 16. I had my first baby when I was 16, so I had to grow up pretty fast. But being a teenage mom, and my mom was the kind of grandmother that would be like, "Oh, I'm gonna take over. You do what you gotta do." So I dropped out of school in 11th grade, and I became an adult. I had to take care of my kids, but she pushed the bullshit though. Cause soon I dropped out of school, it wasn't just about my kid. I had to watch her 3 kids too. Like she pulled the fast one. Um, she, she pulled the fast one with that one. But
Your
yeah,
cousin says she loves you.
I don't know which one.
Tika,
I
Tika.
love you more, Teak. That's my twin. That's my twin. Um, but yeah, I had to grow up pretty quick down there. I had to learn to fend for myself because my mom was working. She is a single parent, and then I had a baby, so it was basically pushed on me to being the eldest, the only eldest girl on my mother. My mother had I had to do a lot for my brothers, but after a while of because the sense of home, I think I'm gonna say I broke it because I had everybody that knew us and knew what we was capable of, and they respected us until the bullshit started. And this ain't a this what we doing right let's talk right now. I'm trying to give y'all bits and pieces to keep y'all wanting more, but because it's a lot more. But um after when I turned I had babies on top of babies on top of babies. So like I got my first 5 kids before I was 30. My first 5 kids I had before I was 30. So with that being said, in between that, some other things expired. Like I mean, I started drugs. I started doing a lot of shit that was unnecessary. So I had to escape my safe haven before they even tore them down. I had to leave from down there because it was becoming a bit much. Like no more the little boys thinking I'm their friend's sister. It was as long as they can make money off of me. So you know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
It changed the dynamic a little bit. I had to leave from down there and go to another place where I thought was safe. It wasn't. It's being safe sometimes come within. You gotta make if you don't feel secure and safe, then I promise you on God, everywhere you go gonna feel fucked up. Everywhere.
Mm-hmm.
Everywhere you go. I moved from there and thought I was doing something and moved to Little City. God damn.
Woo!
God damn. I might should have stayed down dating them motherfuckers. And that it's a whole brick jungle. Like if you don't know your way around that maze, you fucked. It's a maze. It's a
Oh
maze.
man.
It's a maze. They got in the middle and then all these other entrances to get out. But if you don't know how to get through them, you stuck. So
So now, as you know, you somebody from Brick City. You don't move to you from that area, and now you
correct.
don't move to a whole different ward. No, that's the same South Ward, right? So now you don't move to a different area. Let's not even get to the ward thing. You don't move to a different
A
area,
different area.
and it's like the dynamics. For those that don't know in the chat, the dynamics, even though she was still in North, the dynamics is a lot different from based off of different areas. So explain that. Explain how that was like. Oh,
It's not in Little City is in
oh
East
yeah,
Orange.
East Orange. Yeah.
East Orange.
So now
But
you don't move
it's right on
to.
the borderline.
It's
I,
off the
I,
highway, right?
yeah, it's right on the borderline of Newark. You be in Newark if you walk over one block. But the hit was that moving from dating because you start becoming about who you are. Like after a while, when you live in the projects, you'll say you from the project because you know what that project's represented. So even though I moved to another semi projects, I thought of it as being soft. I thought of everybody in there being soft because first they had half of buildings. I don't even know what the fuck is that about. They buildings only go up to the third floor. Ours went up to the ninth. Like we had some
So
real
so
stairs to
so
climb.
look, they were saying their little area, you know, was projects, and in your eyes, you like these ain't projects, these
The,
townhouses.
absolutely.
Oh,
And I came through there a bit and I wrecked shops the whole time I was there. The whole time I was there, from drugs to beating bitches up just cause I don't like them. Like I was crazy, and I was in my 30s, in my early 30s. I still was a mess. Still was a mess. I'm trying to redeem myself because I love to fight. Like I that's in me. I don't know if my father passed it on. It couldn't have been my mother. She was soft as cotton. So I'm assuming I got it from my father, but I that's my shit. I love to fight. As my sister said, it's a workout. I need to exercise. I love it. I love it. I love it. But after moving around a bit, like from place to place, it started getting like in between all that. Q, don't forget these babies is still coming. Like I got 9 of them. They ain't stopped until 10 years ago. That's my last child.
hmm
I'm 54. My last child, I was 44. I was, it was ridiculous because all the babies were still coming. So moving around and trying to find some stability while having the defects that I had was a little bit difficult. It wasn't until I surrendered because you're gonna surrender to something. You
Yeah.
want to you want to surrender to something. Either you're gonna surrender to the will of God or whomever you call God, or you're gonna surrender to the streets, or you going your life could base of a lot of surrendering. People don't think that, but they do. You got to surrender
I'm
to
gonna
the
ask you.
process.
I'm gonna ask you a question, right? Like, we both share some of the same experiences with being in these state ran facilities, right? Do you ever feel like, damn, I'm 54. When did all this time go by? Like, what the hell was I doing? Like, time just the last. You sit back and be like, damn, the last 40 years. Like, I remember when I was 14 years old,
Absolutely,
like yesterday, and it just like went by just like that.
absolutely. Um, yeah, I had to visit them places a couple of times from all my bad behaviors and the things that I thought was so great at the time. But
How was how was that experience? I mean, we all know a lot of people, and like ourselves have been there, been on them paid vacations, courtesy of the state. How was your experience?
my experience as far as Joe's concerned, I loved it. Everybody got their own shit. That shit was my shit. Them motherfuckers tried to put me. They tried to. They did put me out. They put me out without my
Your
permission.
permission?
They put me the fuck out. Like they just came to my cell. So I didn't even have an idea I was gonna go home. They just came to my cell and was like, Lattimore, come on. I'm like, what? They like, come on, you checking out. I said, fucking hold on. Y'all moving too fast. I got some shit I gotta do first. I
So let
gotta
me
fucking
see. We gotta explain to people because I don't think a lot of people in the chat understand that at a certain time back then, and I know it may sound crazy to a person that never had to go through the experience. It was not considered hard time. You may have been doing time, but it was like
was a
easy.
hard
It was easy time.
it
Explain to everybody the whole experience from the cuffs to being up in the well.
I'll tell you something different. First of all, let's start out when they first arrested me and they put me in the back of the car. I'm gonna say that was the most trauma I had as far as the arrest go. Period. Is getting put in the back of the cars. But when I got there, they was like, "We gonna need your shoestrings," and I was like, "For what? I'm not staying. I'm not. What I'm giving you my shoestrings for? I'm not staying. I'm gonna need my shoestrings." But I was saved in a holding cell for about 2 days before they decided they was gonna send me to the well. Anybody don't know what that is? Like that's like in Carwell was like a facility, a jail,
It's
but
the annex. It's Essex County Jail's old annex. They didn't have if they didn't want to house you downtown on Nelson Street, they would send you up to Caldwell, New Jersey, where they had an annex jail. And that
right.
was for anybody that ever been through that experience or heard about that experience. Um, Caldwell was always had this reputation, but when you go through the experience, Audrey will tell you.
It first it was back in 2000, the early 2000. So everything was still able to be either shipped to you or you could buy it from commissary. But they called me. I was the Muslim rep and the muffin lady. I had all the good muffins. I had the banana. You know about the banana muffins? Them shits is true. If you get a lot of shit, you get almost a pack of cigarettes for the banana muffins. Them shits was everything. I had muffins. I had a couple of attributes while I lived there. You heard me while I lived there. Like that was like my joint. Anyway, so um, the time for me wasn't that hard because I made it. It was like a safety haven for me. I was out in the streets. I was running streets. I was using drugs. I was doing a whole bunch of nonsense. And when they locked me up, I thought it was the worst thing ever, but it saved my life.
Mm,
It saved my life. So
mm.
some people have a different outlook on it. If I know had I had stayed on the streets, I probably wouldn't be having this podcast because I was that into using drugs and hanging out and doing all the things that I ain't had no business doing. And I had family members that would have got me out. My mom pleaded with them not to let me go. So when they came and said that I had to leave, it was sort of traumatizing because first of all, I had all that commissary. The peanut butter. I had just got my shit. The peanut butter to go on the vanilla cookies. Like people don't understand that's the perfect combination. Try it at home. That shit never failed you. I promise you. I had just got all my good shit, and now they talking about some Buster Gates. Gotta go. Who? First of all, I gotta separate my sheet sets because my brother had just sent me like 2 fresh packs of sheet sets. I gotta
See,
separate them
for
shits.
those in the chat, it's a certain time in New Jersey's prison system where you able to get your own clothes and wear your own clothes, have your own sheets, have your own towels, and have a food package from your family and commissary. So what I
Absolutely.
mean, so for those in the chat, not they don't have that type of system anymore. So
Okay.
it's kind of like what she's explaining is you make the best out of a bad situation. Even though she was away from her family and her loved ones, and this was an opportunity for her to get herself together,
Oops, sorry.
she got to a point where like, yo, I'm away from my family, but I'm trying to make my life comfortable.
Right.
So she's explaining how when you get that canteen, you be shaking and moving. You probably got a store, and they
Absolutely. That's right.
so they came to Audrey, and she didn't know she was going home. A lot of people don't know when they go home. It could become because of max out based off of computation time. You could just be going home and you not know. So she was surprised when they told her like, "Yo, pack up, you got to go."
Yeah, I was heartbreak. Not to say less. The lady, the CEO, which is the cop, the person who run the jail, one of the CEOs, like, Lattimore, come on, you taking too long. I'm like, I'm telling you, this came unexpected. I need to separate my shit and give it to who I got to give it to. Like, I'm trying to tell my celly who to give it to. That's the person I shared this cell with the longest. Of course, she got the most stuff. I said, you can keep all the commissary, just all the food and shit. Just make sure you get some of these sheets to. Shit was crazy. My mother gonna send. They was like you said. They was able to send like food packets and clothes and stuff, so we could sleep in our own pajamas or whatever. My mother gonna send me some satin fucking pajamas. I was like, what the fuck is going on here? What you think is happening here? This why the fuck you send me some satin pajamas? I'm silky as hell walking around a tear. Like, no, I want to be sexy. Um, but yeah,
so
it.
so they sent you from Caldwell. From Caldwell, you was in Clinton.
Yeah, I went to Clinton. I didn't do a long bid in Clinton. I didn't do a long bid in Clinton, and that wasn't my first time. That's not when they told me I had to leave. I was there for 6 months, um in the camps, and then after the 6 months there, I knew everybody there. I knew everybody there. I knew everybody that I ever knew from Dayton and other areas. So that it wasn't that difficult for me to be in there either because I knew a lot of people. But once I don't know what happened. I had to go back to the well. I don't ask what happened. So all the haze. I had to go back to the well, and I did the because I
Look
had
at
did
look at this comment. Jenny Barnes era.
absolutely, 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 absolutely. They all I can remember is they said I was gonna get another charge because somebody said that I fed put some alka sauces in my bread, and one of the birds scooped out and picked up a silicone, picked up. He blew up. They said that's you get another charge for that. I said I ain't do shit, but somebody had told me that you do it. They will do it. I wanted to say it because I'm just that fucked up. But I
Yeah,
didn't say
if
they.
you know how you guys in the chat, you know how people feed the birds bread. Well, I know it sounds tormentful and it sounds cruel, but if you put an Alka Seltzer in bread, and just like our stomachs, the Alka Seltzer, yeah, somebody said killing pigeons in the chat. So a lot of
Absolutely
times, you may just want to do something for humor to get a laugh because it make you laugh, and you don't even realize you're doing something so cruel
right,
at the time.
right.
So they accused you of they accused you of that.
Yeah, they accused me of that, and I don't know. Like 2 days after that, they wound up telling me I had to go. No, they sent me back to Carwell for whatever paperwork. I don't know what happened, but they ain't mad at me. I felt like I was back home because I love Cartwell. Like that was my other spot. Like once you become something, once you it had became bigger than myself. Like I was the Muslim rep, so that means I got movement all around the whole place. I never was in one place. I got movement over the whole jail system. Being a Muslim rep, I can go to everybody's cells in each different units just to speak to them about Islam. So it
So
became it.
so at night, so after dinner time, you had to pass, and you walked around uh in the main building from tier to tier.
Yep, even they even let me go to the men's building to get stuff for them, and that was nice. Them brothers over there was looking sharp.
Yeah,
After that,
somebody just put up about Caldwell, the Wild Wild West on the west side of Caldwell.
hell, watch them out. That shit was fun.
Oh,
I had a it for me it wasn't cute. It wasn't bad. It wasn't bad. And then, like I said, I had became the Muslim rep. So for my last remainder of my last 90 days there, um, this had went on all through the time that I was there. But towards the last 90 days of me being there, I wasn't only the Muslim rep, but I was damn it right on the edge of my tongue. Damn it, damn it, damn it. I used to clean. Damn, I can't think of the name of it. I'm sorry. But anyway, I just break it down in definition. What I did was a trustee. That's what I was.
Mhm.
Like I was able to go out and clean up like the open areas. So I got real cool with all the guards. I would never say y'all names if any of y'all few friends. And y'all was working at Carwell from 2020 to 2020. I mean from 2000 to 2003. I'm not gonna say y'all names. Not gonna do it. But them niggas, them COs never. I ate out food every day. Every day I ate out food.
It's funny. For those in the chat, she's telling you guys an experience, and a lot of times you may feel like when a person is talking about this experience, they're glorifying it, but the reality is that once the handcuffs go on you, you have to mentally prepare for.
Absolutely.
You got to still live your life, regardless of where you're at, and that experience being in the well. And it's funny. It's funny because me and Jamila was in the well at the same time. And if you know anything about being in Caldwell back in 2000, Miss, I ain't gonna say her name, CO, that most people know. I mean, it was something. I mean, getting the food from Overbrook and all that stuff.
Absolutely, absolutely. Them guard. I never ate no out. No, I never ate no food there after my last 3 months. They made it their business. Like every day, they like, what you want, I bring it in for you. And I used to eat out. I used to eat with them, so it became home for me. And it's not to say that I'm not glorifying jail. I'm glorifying what happened. This is my own personal experience. It wasn't bad for me. It's not me glorifying it. What it is an experience that I went through, and for some people it's horrific and might destroy them, but for me it saved my life. I was doing a lot of stuff out here that I think if I wouldn't have went to jail, I would still remain doing it. So it saved my life, and the time there wasn't hard because I felt like I was being saved. You ask God to help you out. You don't ask him how, and he'll make sure he help you out. And I wanted to be off of drugs, and that was my way of being off of drugs. So I'm grateful to the well for that because I didn't see no other way out of it. By me going to a rehab, that wouldn't have worked. My family couldn't threaten me into doing no shit. I did what the fuck I wanted to do, but I was forced into a situation that made me a better person.
Yeah, yeah. So, wow, a lot of people don't understand the Caldwell, the Clinton experience. I know during one of my tours of duty, I was working at the farm down Annandale, right? And the farm down Annandale was so close to Annandale and Clinton is so close to each other
Yeah,
that sometimes our farm officer used to take us to Clinton Farm, right? And every time we used to go on Clinton property, I was like, "Yo, these some huge women, yo."
big bitches. That's the fight I had. That's the fight I could talk about. That's the
Oh,
fight I had with somebody named Petey. That bitch, she had a fucking cut like Malcolm X and wore glasses. She was big as hell.
what? What?
Petey had her own fucking table in where we ate at. She had her own table. Nobody would sit there. She would sit there by herself. And it could fit like 20 of them. I'm like, I'm sitting over there. The fuck y'all talking about? Y'all scared, not I. Did she whoop my ass? Absolutely.
What?
Her name was Petey. The
What?
fuck?
What? What happened?
Of course she whooped my ass. Her name was Petey.
What happened?
So I got my tray and I just meant to walk over there where she was sitting at. I said my tray down. She was like, "What you doing?" I said, "About to sit down."
You're right. Not all, never glorifying. I stayed handcuffed to the bed fighting the police. It wasn't easy. Respect, definitely. When you come out of that experience, like I said, everybody's experience is different. A lot of people don't realize that you don't. Most people think that the experience is, oh, you got to have a butthole full of time and you come home and you don't be right. It's a lot of people that got a little bit of time and they come home and their mind be messed up. So at the end of the day, like I always tell people, if you can go through that experience and your mind and your integrity still intact, and it ain't no crazy stuff on your name, you done been through it, and you know because a lot of people be coming home and they be toe up, they be all over the place. So your experience with Petey.
So Petey decided, she asked what I was doing. I told her I was about to sit down and eat. So she got up. You ain't sitting here, and like was in my face. I said, I promise you, I am gonna sit the fuck right here. So before she could hit me, because this bitch was big like a lumberjack, I hit her first. I don't think it phased her, but it ain't phased her and it ain't piss her off. It just made her inquisitive. But then she let me hit her a couple of more times. But around the fourth time, that bitch was like, boop, punched me on the top of my head. I went down.
So PD sat at a table in the mess hall by herself.
By herself for years, from my understanding, because she always came back and forth, and the CEOs was a little intimidated from her. All the trustees was everybody was intimidated by her. We fought that one time. We argued after that, but she never would try me again because I fought her with everything I had, and I guess she respected that. I guess.
Yeah,
Um,
that
but
experience is something. I tell you.
yeah. I don't think like I was saying earlier. It wasn't bad for me. That's why I was telling you earlier, couple of days back, that it wasn't a bad experience for me. Some people it is, and my heart goes out to them. I have empathy and sympathy for those folks. But for Jamila, that shit was a ball. I did everything. My mother would send me all the books. I knew my Soras backwards and forwards. I had able to have time enough to study and to get right with my mind. It was so much stuff that happened for me, and then that's not me glorifying. That's just me telling my story. After leaving there, I stayed on the right path because I did have a drug problem. I stayed on the right path for maybe about 6 months, and after that, I went right back to drugs. Which January the 1st of this year, I celebrate 16 years.
Wow! Congratulations!
16
Wow!
years.
Wow! Wow!
So it took me a long time to get to this phase. So like that's a whole nother story that we gonna come back to that you gonna love to hear, because my crack days was the days that, baby, them crack days, I did a lot. I did a whole lot of stuff. Strange for change. It was a lot. I did a lot. And again, these is my stories. These is what happened to me. Happened to me in my growing up, either or through life. This is my stories.
You think I'm gonna ask you a question? Like, and this and one thing about the experience, and I always say I always whenever I say the experience, I'm always talking about jail for the people in the chat because it is a learning experience for those that look at it that way. Um, you know how Jamila people always say you'll be sick and tired when you sick and tired, or you'll know when you're tired.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about that? Like is there any truth to that statement? Like, yo, when you done.
Baby. So absolutely, that's a slogan. That's a good slogan. That when you sick and tired, when you tired of being sick and tired, when you tired of being sick and tired, you'll be done with whatever you're doing. They ain't never lie. Because so much stuff happened to me in the course of me using that some people couldn't stomach. From losing my kids to the system, to tricking, to everything. Some people like, I never do that. I used to say I would never. I would never. I just want everybody, all friends, family, whoever watching us right now, to understand nobody wakes up and say I'm gonna be a drug addict. Nobody don't that's not a part of your makeup. You don't go to sleep and think about tomorrow. My goal is to be a crackhead. Yes, that's what I want to be. I want to be a crackhead. No, shit happens and you don't deal with it, and then the results of it is either drugs, institution, or jail. Like, that's it.
I always say about it, and a lot of people may not understand where I'm coming from when I say, it's a subculture that everybody feeds off of. Um, because outside of being having the code of the street that we got in the code of the culture, you see some things and you experience some things that you could write a bestseller about. You could people would be amazed at the stories that you could say that you've seen, and from everyday people, not just people that's in that lifestyle. People, you know how they say people that dip and dabble in the lifestyle, and you be like, these people don't be who y'all think they are.
Absolutely. Absolutely, absolutely, and that even go for me. Like in my line of work, um, I never, I never thought that I'd be able to help others that's just like me. But in my line of work, is that's basically what I'm doing. Um, Helping others that's just like me. That I once was. So it's everything around it. Everything around using and my behavior and all that stuff, it comes with time getting it together. Nothing came easy. And when I got sick and tired, what got me sick and tired of doing it was the tricking part. Like I got, excuse me for the foul language, but it is what it is. I got sick and tired of sucking unwanted dick. I'm
You
sorry.
stupid.
That's what
You crazy. Yeah.
I'm sorry. That's what did it for me. I could not do it anymore. I was tired of that shit. I couldn't do it. So that led me to being getting myself together to having 16 years old. I couldn't do it no more. I couldn't do it no more. But and it took a
Cuz said, I never knew your whole story. I will always love you. Thank you.
uh,
Tika.
I love you more, Tay. It's crazy. You do a whole lot of things, and some of it's like I'm so grateful for you allowing me to shed light on who I am and talk a little bit about me and how um I was born in Vauxhall, but I love Dayton Street even more because I was accepted. In Vauxhall, I really didn't feel that. You know what I'm saying? I was the darkest one of my, well, on my mother's side. I was the darkest one. I had a cousin. She just passed away. May God be pleased with her, Nisi. But my cousins was light skinned. So I was dark, dark. The nickname they gave me was Smokey. Ain't that what you call a dog? That was my nickname. I don't know if you knew that, Q. That was my nickname, Smokey.
You know, it's funny. It's funny because even as a little kid, I always knew everybody in your family, and it's like a lot of people may not realize how big your mother's side of the family is.
Right.
Even your father's side of the family is huge, but how big the mother's side of the family is, and like you said, your cousin Nisi that just passed away is like I remember her when I was a little boy. Like,
Mm-hmm.
damn, yo, like
It, growing up.
then you going through that those experiences. It's like um, don't feel. I don't want you to feel like, and everybody in the chat, like your experience. What people don't understand is that your experiences were the same as everybody else's experiences. Nobody's is greater or less.
Right.
The reason why and I believe that you're good to talk about it is because you can share. A lot of us live in a lot of guilt, that the guilt be beating us so bad that we can't even talk about it. Like we be like,
Absolutely.
I don't want to talk about it. I done cleaned my life up, so I don't want to talk about the past no more.
Yeah, it's and that's true. A lot of people think that they have arrived once they get past it. They feel like they are arrived. But my thing is, the more I tell my story, the more I tell my story, I can definitely pass on to somebody else that may need my help, encouragement to going through that might be going through the same thing. From rather it be jail to drug abuse to being molested to not feeling part of, feeling like the black sheep. Like I share all them stories. I share that they my makeup, and I'm not angry about it. I'm not upset about it today. Like it used to bother me. It used to bother me because for people to say, "Oh, you so pretty to be black,"
Mm.
or "I can't believe you that dark and got that kind of hair." Like them is all things that stop your growth. It minimizes you. It makes you think that you need more. You need more, and I always was reaching for that. And what happened was because I didn't feel the love that I thought I well that I definitely needed from, especially from my mom, that I definitely needed, that I didn't receive. I found it in boys. So that's why I got a whole bunch of kids with a whole bunch of different baby daddies. Again, this is my story. I'm not never going to be ashamed of anything that I've ever done. I'm not. I've grown from it. I accepted that what happened, and I'm moving on. But it didn't come easy. It didn't come easy. Shame and guilt kept me using. So I don't cover it no more. I don't cover it no more. I
But
let it go.
we definitely probably the next episode, we're gonna get into to drugs. We're gonna get into the addictive lifestyle. You could share some stories.
Okay.
I'm gonna share some stories, and not only because I think that a lot of people don't understand the era. It is very important that we put it in context. The era that you came from, being um as we would say, the party era, and how it was more
80s,
like
baby.
socially acceptable until it got to a point like, oh,
Right.
I'm full blown into life, like
Right.
coming off the hills of our parents was, they dealt with, as we would say, that old heron era in the 70s, and it's like,
Right.
okay, we're their kids, what we
Right.
gonna do?
Right.
So hopefully in the next episode we'll discuss that, and
Okay.
everybody could get a good benefit from the situation. Like I told you guys in the chat, Audrey is willing to do the show, and we got some things planned. Don't think she ain't got no funny stories, because she will have y'all in tears when she was talking about that stimulus. Catch what she's saying. She wish her kids was younger than 18, because that was the come up.
And yeah. On our next show, guys, I have my hair done because right now I'm looking like a glow pop, a chocolate fucking glow pop. Look,
Yeah, and she was talking about her forehead before we started the
look at that
show,
shit.
y'all.
That don't make no damn sense for nobody's forehead to be that big. Look at that from the side. That shit is crazy. I'm gonna have a bang next time. The
But
next time
listen,
I come on.
I'm gonna just tell you guys in the chat, like, the one of the unique things that I explained to Audrey is, one thing about social media is sometimes you really can't have planned shows with certain people. So Audrey basically is just going to just pop up whenever she wants to pop up. So I would really suggest that you guys go to YouTube and basically subscribe, so you get the alert when she pops up, because you never know when she's going to pop up. She might pop up one late night and want to tell y'all about her crazy adventures, because trust me, when you live in that subculture,
Right.
it be some crazy stuff going on. Like,
Absolutely.
like I don't even want to begin to tell y'all, because I ain't teasing nobody, but we'll definitely have fun, and, like, if y'all know Audrey, hit up with some questions on some things that y'all may want her to talk about, because she's definitely
Absolutely.
she's definitely be willing to talk about it. And we thank everybody in the chat for joining us tonight. Or you got any final thoughts you want to let everybody know? I'm calling you Audrey. It's Jamming with Jamila, y'all. That's the
Yeah,
name of the
because I'm
show.
about to say you being very disrespectful. I ain't want to. I was gonna wait till we get off. Stay safe. I don't know. Stay safe. Stay blessed.
All right, y'all.
Come see us again. Subscribe. Okay,
Make
that's it.
make sure you guys like, share, subscribe, and y'all will see Jamming with Jamila soon. Hopefully it won't. It might be before next week. I don't know. It's up to her. When she
Slap.
You was in Slap.
I said slap.
Oh.
Sounds like a plan. Work. Stay with me. Stay with
Oh.
me. Stay with me. Stay with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I
Slaps.
know she got all
Sounds
these.
like a plan.
Yeah, I know she got all these acronyms. I gotta say it right. So with that, y'all take care and have a blessed night.
All right. Good night.